Hey, how's it going? Nat here. Let's take a look at what's been making news today. From midnight tonight, metropolitan Melbourne and Mitchell Shire are back in lockdown for the next 6 weeks. Leela caught up with some of her family in Melbourne to see how they're feeling about it all.
Board games, check. Books, check. Backyard activities, check. Yep, Melbournians, like my cousins Frankie and Mavis, are getting ready for lockdown.
What are you doing with your last day before lockdown?
Mavis has a friend over, and later today I'm having a friend over for our last play date.
You see, Victoria has had a huge spike in COVID-19 cases.
We were so close to getting out and easing more restrictions, but then all of a sudden we got all these new cases.
So yesterday, the Premier decided Melbourne and Mitchell Shire need to go back into lockdown.
I didn't want to be in this position, no Victorian does. But let's not see this as simply an inconvenience. It's much more than that. It's a pandemic.
From tomorrow, people will only be allowed to leave their homes for 4 reasons, which are shopping for food and essential items, care and caregiving, daily exercise, but they must stay close to home, and for work and study, but only if it can't be done from home. Most school kids from prep to year 10 will get an extra week holidays, and then it's back to online learning.
It's like school work without the funness of seeing each other.
But with some positivity, lockdown doesn't have to be so bad.
Are you going to get through it?
Yeah.
I'll be sending you positive thoughts.
Brazil's president has tested positive for coronavirus. Jair Bolsonaro confirmed the news yesterday, but he said that he felt normal. Mr. Bolsonaro has said in the past that the virus wasn't that serious, even though Brazil has the world's highest number of cases and more than 65,000 people have died. They're calling it the TikTokalypse. The US government is talking about banning the app because of worries it's being used to spy on people. TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, but it's led by an American CEO, and it says it doesn't provide data to the Chinese government. This is a big month for the Red Planet. 3 rovers from 3 different countries are set to blast off towards Mars, and one of them was named by a 13-year-old. Here's Charlotte.
If you had to name this rover, what would you call it?
Brendan.
Marzi McMarsface, definitely.
Luckily, that job didn't go to us. It went to 13-year-old Alex Mather from the US. Back in March, he beat 28,000 other American kids in a competition to name NASA's latest unmanned Martian mission. Alex says he came up with the name Perseverance after learning more about just how much work it would take to land a rover on Mars.
Mars missions are very hard, and it takes a lot of perseverance and effort from a lot of the people on the team.
Perseverance is NASA's most ambitious Mars mission yet, and will analyse rocks and soil and collect samples which will hopefully be examined back on Earth one day, as well as look for signs of life. Alex says he's been obsessed with space since he went to space camp a couple of years ago.
As you're driving down the road, you can slowly see the spire of the rocket rise above the building, and 11-year-old me saw that and lost his mind. I immediately knew that space was something I was doing for the rest of my life.
And now, no matter what happens, he'll be a part of the history of space exploration.
And before we go, let's take a look at some sporting legends that are right on the money. You can't be much more on the money than this guy, Patrick Mahomes, who's just scored the biggest ever sporting contract in history. The new deal is worth around $650 million, and it's for a new contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. What's the perfect name for the child of legendary runner Usain Bolt? How about Olympia Lightning Bolt? I'd say that's right on the money. Usain Bolt and Cassie Bennett shared this pic of little Olympia. I'm sure she'll take the world by storm. Get it? And finally, here's a sports legend in our eyes. 10-year-old Imogen from the UK is raising money for COVID heroes by doing 7.1 million keepy-uppies. Well, she's already smashed her fundraising target, but at a rate of 200 keepy-uppies a day, it'd take Imogen 97 years to do 7 million. So she reached out to others for help, and she's got the support of a few pros. Nice one, Imogen. Well, that's all the news we've got for today, but we'll be back again tomorrow with more. See you then.